My name is Tamara Griffin. I have been in a season of growing my family and at the same time growing in my career. So like most women, I juggle a lot of things. Before leading a small group, I had been going through Growth Track, and I knew that I wanted to serve the church in some way. I had been praying for God to use me. I just didn't know what that might look like or if I was even ready to be used. I had plenty of things that I still wanted to work on in myself. And honestly, how could I find time to add one more thing? I would look to leaders in our church and I would think, how can I measure up? They make it look really easy. And so I don't feel that I'm on that level. I really could have talked myself out of it for sure. But a sweet friend of mine reminded me that big doors swing on little hinges. And she just said, God can use you right where you're at. It's been amazing to watch God work. The women in my small group, they've grown in their faith and they've come to know God in a new way. He's used our relationships for healing, and we've been able to challenge each other. One week, we spoke about stepping out in faith, and I posed the question, what has God called you to do that you've pushed aside out of fear? There was a woman in my small group who just had this desire to help children who had been in situations where they found themselves at the Rape Crisis Center and going through that process and how invasive it is. And she wanted to do something to, with what her gifts were, to change the way that worked. But there were a lot of question marks around it. She didn't know how it would look, and she had a lot of fear stopping her from going for it. It wasn't until we all sat together that day and just rallied around her and confirmed that that was God, that was Him speaking to her and calling that out of her. So she was able to go for it and take her next step and seeing where that would lead. To someone who's considering leading a small group, I would tell them that if they've felt that tug, if they've been praying for God to use them, this could be their Esther moment. To not trust fear more than they trust God, that He is a creator, not a duplicator, that you don't have to be anyone that you're not or anywhere that you're not for Him to use you for His purpose.